Hi, welcome to my canvas. I'm Goth Ross, and I want to try to have fun for once in my life. So I'm going to draw with a paintbrush all sorts of stuff. And this is all on the fly, doing this for a specific reason. But I want to just kind of go through the process, and let's see how long it takes this time around. I do apologize in advance if there is a battery issue at some point. I'll try to keep that from happening, but it is possible. Let me see if I can help alleviate it. Oh no, let's not bother. Not right now. If it goes out, it goes out. I didn't want to get all flustered, but I have a bunch of paint and I wanted to make something that I've pre-planned but I haven't done yet. So we're going to see how this turns out. It should be rather wonderful. So what you want to do, and this is a part that is always forgotten, is you have your brush. I'm just going to use this the round brush for now, because the round brush is just much easier when it's big like this, and I want to get specific areas. So I'm going to lay down the base coat, and this is the part that is usually not talked about too often. That's Slurpee. So I'm coming back here with some liquid, just some clear liquid, very clear. Once again, thanks for joining me. I'm Goth Ross. I was so nervous about doing this, but now I'm not. So we're just gonna do it, okay? And it'll be nice. So what I want to do is get some clear on here first, just a little bit. I'm going to put this up in its channel so we don't have any issues. And we're going to just start painting this guy. I'm going to make sure it's on there very nice and solid. So if it's not, like mine is already kind of showing its problem, make sure that you tighten it down here, and then it'll be a lot easier. Just want to put some liquid on here, make sure it stays nice and wet. So I'm just getting it in there. And you're going to see the whole process. It's a lot longer than a normal size show. It's a little too long, maybe. But it will help me get this thing done because I've been thinking about it. I was just waiting for some new paint to arrive so I could be ready to paint this mysterious painting. I'm doing a very mysterious painting here about a murder mystery. But it's kind of like not your everyday film that I'm basing mine on. But see how I'm just putting a good even layer of this up here. I just feel like I need it. It's just going to make it look cooler. And it'll keep it wet. Because I'm also going to put down some color here. But this will help me make sure it's nice and wet. Want it to be wet. You usually don't see this part of the process, but I wanted to do it because it's fun. So I already kind of know what I'm doing here. I'm going to take some of this bluish tint, put it up yonder. Okay. And you're going to see me, I'm looking at a reference I did on my tablet. So I painted this with, you know, software on my tablet, but I wanted it to be a real painting. I didn't want it to just be on the, you know, on there and then as a digital file. I want to do the actual oil process. Right now I'm just kind of figuring out where I want some colors and whatnot based upon what I'm painting. So I'm going to put some more clear down yonder. Let's keep the clear coming. And I apologize if you're watching football at the same time as watching this, because I'm sure you'll be disappointed in the results. But you don't need to worry about it anymore. Now it's time to paint. It's time to get painterly, and I just thought this was a good time. As you can see, I'm also hitting the sides, but down yonder, I just need a little bit more clear. And if you need to wash your hands while you do your clear, don't worry about it. I'm not going to judge you. I like using a lot of clear because it makes it easy to know you're getting coverage. It's all about coverage these days. How much coverage are you receiving? That's all that matters. Very goth. Now I'm usually listening to something super, super sad while doing this. But since I'm doing this and showing you how I'm doing it, I don't want it getting too music-y. I'm going to get some of this crimson, because what I want to have happen is I want there to be some crimson in here. Okay? So I'm just going to kind of get it in here a bit. Not too thick, but thick enough. Please apologize. I'm going to apologize because I probably will step in front of your framing a little bit during this process, but it's worth the hassle. And to just get it just the way I'm thinking here. You can start, you know what your thing is going to be. You can start forming some things, at least brushstroke wise. So you have those brush strokes in there the way that you're wanting them, right? So I'm putting the crimson in place, but that's not going to be the end. This is just for the bottom. Look at that. So scary so far. So I'm gonna throw this on the floor. It's the best place to put it because then you get the paint on the floor. But I'm gonna clean this off. You don't have to be as crazy on your cleaning as you'd think. You just want to get it clean and get the bristles back to not showing color. You don't have to just get it all over your room. I would recommend getting a little bit of cleaner on there though to really get it. One thing I didn't grab, and let me get it. I have my box here that has all the cleaning stuff I need. Here's your main point of putting stuff in there and drying off your brush in there if you need to. You just want to get it so it's like I can do this new color here. Bear with me. You're seeing in real time what it really takes. It takes forever. It's not a quick process on anything. I'm trying to make it quick, but it's not going to be that way probably. Okay. Alright, that's clean enough. So I'm going to get some of this green. Okay. Let's get it up here. And you can't, on the video, it's just going to look like I'm just doing all black. But it's green in there, alright. It's just very, very transparent-y, scary, ghostly. I would call it ghostly. It's a very ghostly vibe. Get more of that green on there. Get it over here. I'm putting the color based upon where I'm thinking the sky needs to change and all that kind of stuff, you know? And then start hitting it with the way that you're doing your brush strokes too. The brush strokes are the most important part of your drab-filled day. Yeah. So I'm just going to put a bunch of green here. And then I'll kind of go back over it this direction. Go all the way down here. Get a lot of that green on in there. I need to do more. So I'm going to bring some more green. Okay, just getting your green on. You can use a bunch of color greens as long as it's dark, so it becomes as dark as the canvas. I didn't know if I was going to do this today live like this. I didn't really want to, but then I was like, whatever. It's that kind of day where you're just kind of like, well, whatever. It doesn't matter. So I'm always cleaning off the brush a little bit so I can have it mostly ready to go. Right? Because it's going to get oversaturated and too crazy. So just get some more green on there. Bringing it in. Okay. Get it up here a little bit more. So we got more green. Just kind of bringing it in more and more. You really can't see it on the video. You just got to get the green and the blue where you want it. And then go over it this way. And it kind of like evens out. Even Steven. Okay? Because the next step is, see, this takes, you can get this done really quickly, but it takes forever. Okay. I want it to be right, so I'm taking the time to make sure it's good on where I want stuff to be specifically. So let me give you a little backstory since we're doing this live and in person. Let me make sure that my video is going. Looks like it is. Sorry if you're talking, I can't see, I won't see it probably. But this may be something that you're watching later. So don't worry about it. I'm just not going to interact with anybody on there right now. But anyways, I just want this to come together in here with the red, because this is based on a mystery, murder mystery, and I love murder mysteries. So I want to get this, you know, murder mystery going on in Casa Bonita, the most bonita casas you've ever experienced in your life. For those of you who know about it, which is probably everyone, it is a restaurant. I live very close to it. Okay, I'm only like a couple minutes away. I could drive over there and come back in a couple, I don't know, it'd probably take like 15 minutes, drive there and back. That's how close I am. But they have an art show once a year. And this one is about scary murder mysteries. And I was like, I don't really have time to do this, but I'll do it if I can get it done Goth Ross style, which is one painting in one sitting. Okay, that's the whole point. Get it done in a sitting, and that's what I'm shooting for here. So I'm going to be talking to you, i.e. myself, and get this thing done. This is just the background, for crying out gimnally. Let me just make sure it has some flow. Okay. I'm still just using this round brush. I can probably switch over pretty soon, because round brush is now got too much paint on it. I got a bunch of brushes ready to do this. Next brush that we're going to be using is your classic Dark Angel fan brush. So I'm going to put this in here. Got to keep things clean. Here's the hardest thing you'll notice about doing this is that it's the dirtiest thing ever. You have to embrace it being dirty, because it is just going to be that way. It's going to be a mess. You're going to make a mess. It's going to be kind of embarrassing, but fun. It'll be fun. Okay, so see, I'm just kind of getting this a little bit cleaner. Kind of thinking about the painting. Like, I look at my reference and make sure I'm doing what I want. I think I need to do one thing before I move on. Let's get more of this green. Okay. Get the green. Get just a little bit more green in here. I feel like it needs to have that. I know you're like, what the hell, man? It's just all black. But it ain't. It's all different shades. I can see it from the angles. It's easier to see this, paintings, the way the light hits it. And I have two light sources going on in here too, which makes it a little tricky, but it's the only way I can shoot this properly and still keep consistently okay. Okay. All right. I'm digging the background. I think I got the background done. Clean this brush off just a little bit. All I'm doing is just wiping it really clean on a paper towel. And getting all that saturation out of it. So most of the paint is gone, hopefully. Okay, it's fine for now. Okay, so now what I want to do is do the first part of this painting bit with a fan brush, your favorite, and using white. Just move these out of the way real quick. Hold on, I don't need that one. That one. I will need this. Okay, got those. We'll need those maybe. Don't need this anymore. Just gotta decide what you need. Get the other stuff out of the way. Okay, now you have your fan brush, right? And I have to like be standing here as if it's head on to me. Because it's the only way I'm going to be able to do this properly, okay? So what you do is you load your brush up with the titanium white. Very white. Very titanium. You can put some liquid in there if it's just a little bit too much. I just want to make sure that there's a lot of paint on the brush, because for this step you need as much as you can get. Okay? So there, look, it's a big one. Look at that. Isn't that huge? Now, what I want to do is I need to just go for it. Okay? Just want to go for it. So I got that side, and this is where you do want to have a lot of paper towels ready, because you want to clean that off, the color, as much as you can, to do another one of these. Okay. Load it up with the white again. Maybe just a little bit of the clear. And just get it on there, okay? Just get it on. Okay? Clean it off. I swear, you just got to do it. It's kind of a pain, but it's worth it. So then you get it mostly cleaned off, get some more paint on there. And just figure this out, you know? So I want to figure it out. Okay, so you got one there. Cleaning it off. Get more white on there. Okay, and then you just gotta Okay. And I might actually hit it just a little bit more with the white. Okay, so then you have that. Get that brush clean while it's still recently saturated. Look at that. I'm just cleaning it off as enough. I have a ton of these fan brushes on me now because I knew that that step was going to be long. But then you just take a dry brush. You just hit it once and then forget it. Okay, so you got to hit it and forget it. You want to keep it dry and clean as much as it can be. Okay. Okay. Hit it and forget it. Get it dry, get it clean. You're gonna go through a lot of paper towels, and it's too bad that you have to do it that way. It's the only way. It's very messy. Okay, so do it over here. Right? Just the key is to not overdo it. Just gotta go one time with the movement per area. Okay. Still getting it dirt, getting that cleanliness. Okay, so then you have that, right? And what you do next will determine your entire future. No, just part of it. But anyways, take a dry 2-inch brush and then go over the whole thing. Okay. Do it over here. I need to move this. Hold on, I'm gonna move this. It's in the way. Don't worry if it takes you time to do things. It's just the way life is. And sorry if you're just looking at my back, though you're probably very entertained by that. Okay, so I'm just kind of going over the whole thing, right? There. There, now you have your mystically beautiful sky that has, here, let's see if here, I'll turn this off for a sec so you can kind of see it with this light on its own. Looks nice, huh? I have the other light on just for my own visual. I'm just gonna kind of go over this just a little more. You can actually, you know, just trying to get it. This needs to be more like this anyway, so you gotta think about if you want upward movement or you want horizontal movement. Horizontal movement is for water and whatnot. Upward movement is for clouds and stuff. So where your sky is should have upward strokes. Your ground should be essentially flat, horizontal. And then you're gonna have fun. So then you have that all ready to go. Still kind of just thinking about that. Yeah, look at my reference again. Okay. Now here's where it could be fun to do something with the knife. What you do is you get your knife out. The hell is it? Just had it. It's got to be somewhere around here. There it is. Okay, so you got your knife here. See this? This is a knife. Make sure it's clean. If it's not, wipe it off. Okay, it's clean. All right, so then what you're going to want to do is get some Purple Mountain Majesties back there. And what you can do with that is get your right color out. Hold on one second. Like I said, sometimes there's a little bit of a delay in what you want to get done. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. You're going to do good. Okay. We'll try this. This is a good mix of color. Let me put it over here. Okay. Now, let me look at that. See, I still like I think it's more of this, get a little bit of the crimson, but put it in with the blue. Maybe just a little bit of that. Okay, you have this roll of paint. You just want to kind of put it in here. Hold on one second. I'm going to turn this on again for a second. Okay. It's very dark, and that's fine. I want it to just be in the background. Essentially just putting in mountains back here, but I'm using this blue. I might actually get a little bit whiter even in there, just a little bit, just so you can see it better. The reflection in the light is going right into my face, which is nice. it there, but I do need it here. And it comes down. Doesn't need to be perfect. You're just kind of getting it drawn. Okay, let's keep it going. This is just going to be in the background anyways. Okay. Just kind of getting the shape in there. I know you're getting lonely because I'm not talking to you as much. That's okay. Okay, so what I need to do is wipe off this knife and just get a little bit of white in there. And I think I want to kind of mix it a little bit. Hold on. This is your dark, shadowy color. I'm not going to bore you to death with what I'm mixing. Needs to be bright enough though, so what you can do is just decide where key is, once again, not to overdo it. Get a little bit more. It is fun. You're just kind of getting the paint laid on there, right? You can kind of give it some depth. Have this side going this other way because there's just a glow from the center, I'm thinking, that needs to be there. And that glow will blow your mind. 'Cause, 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 felt like it needed just needed more glow. So I'm just adding just a little bit. Make sure you aren't jittery. If you are, then you're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, so just getting some paint on the canvas, as they call it, and just making it happen. What you can do is just clean that off real quick again, and then you can take a clean brush and hit one side. Okay, clean it again. Just gonna keep cleaning. And you can just kind of make some textural stuff happen just with the brush strokes. Go the direction that those mountains would be. These mountains are supposed to be minimal because it's goth, right? It's very goth to be minimal. So just keep cleaning it off and working with it. Sometimes right off the tops of here, it looks like wind is blowing it, maybe a little bit, which is nice. You're just kind of finishing the details of that. That's the goal. Okay, so then you have like background of stuff. You have to decide if it's good enough, so then you can move on with the rest of your life. Okay, so you have a background of all this stuff. I could put in a little bit more. Let me just get this right here. Okay. Let me get this over here. 1 second. And don't be scared. Just have fun. Okay. Smooth this out just a little bit overall. On the bottom especially. This is just a background. Backgrounds have feelings too. So you gotta remember that. I am just being very particular about what it looks like, and that's fine. You can do that. It does make my stream too long, and hopefully the battery doesn't run out, but if it does, I'll restart. I just don't have it plugged into an outlet right now. Maybe I should do that, but that requires some think power, which I don't have. Okay. Soapy's barfing. You okay? Overeating her treats and whatnot. Possibly allergic to my rabbit that I saved. Okay, so here we go. Still having fun. Still just going for it. I just got to make sure that it matches what my vision was, because I had this whole thing. It's a story. Okay? It's a very, very scary story. Very scary, mysterious story. But fun. Also a fun story. I've decided that I need to do one thing, and this is fine. You can think about things. I want some green. Okay? Just want a little bit, just a little bit of green in here. Okay. Okay, so then I'll have a little bit of green in there, which I'll also lightly go over it down here. Same with here. A light little tippity top. Okay. Blend, just bringing it in all together. Just getting it all the death and despair out of it. Yeah, there always is death and despair and all these things. Okay. All right. Now, cleaning this up a little bit over here. That's the beauty of this stuff. You can change your mind a little bit or add just a little bit more. Like, okay, for example, just want a little bit more of a whitey, tidy vibe over here. Okay, so then you have that, and then what you can do okay, so you have just like a little bit of a whitey tidy. Just using the little 1-inch. Okay, so there's a little bit more of a peak with some. This is all background still, but you know. I'll do the same thing here just to give it some love. Okay, once again, take your 1-inch, make sure it's clean, and just gives it a little pop of something there. I think I just want to put just a little bit more over here. Okay, not a lot, just a little bit. Itsy bitsy. And then do the same thing. Make sure your brush is pretty clean. Sorry, you gotta look at my back on this one. It's just the way it is. Okay, so then it gives it a little bit of an edge, right? I can do just like a little touch more here. Yeah. Okay, this is still just the background anyways. I haven't even gotten to the main part of what I need to paint. That's why this is taking me a little longer than usual, which I blame on you. It's your fault. You made me do it. You made me do it. And just having fun. Okay. Evening it out a little bit there on the bottom. Same here. Just all the way across. Just even it out just a little bit more. This does come down, so I know at the edges it needs to come down. Murder mystery. Right? It's gonna be a murder mystery in here somehow. Soapy says hi. Hi, Soapy! Hope she's having fun. If you don't mind, I'll be right back. Okay, hi. Sorry, my hands were getting very messy, as they will. Okay, gotta get this other paper towel roll ready. There's a lot to do with this. So what I want to do now may sound crazy, but I have to do it this way. Okay, it is scary to think about it. It's probably easier to do it with a fan brush, so I'm going to do that. Let me get one. Essentially what I want to do here, let's get a little bit of liquid, get mostly white, load it on there. The liquid will help thin it out. Okay, or you can use paint thinner or whatever. It's up to you, really. Okay, what I want to do is gonna freak you out, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, so I just got to get this right. So I may be quiet for a second here. That's because I just got to make sure I do this right. more white. Cleaning off my brush. Just gonna do one thing real quick. Clean up the edge. Okay, I'm just cleaning off my brush constantly. This is where things can get fun. Okay. You're probably like, you tomfoolery that up.